All right, welcome everyone to the 14 Eagles Thursday night webinar. My name is Brian Frazier. I'm a facilitator of 14 Eagles, and I welcome you to the webinar tonight. I'm happy to say that everything has been working pretty smoothly with the new website that we have up now. Also, the 14 Eagles platform has been going fairly well. We haven't had any, major mishaps with it, so I'm very pleased with that. We really encourage people to take part in the process so you can see how simple and easy it is to get involved in the platform. Very simple process. We have sent out the instructional video on how to use the platform itself. Hopefully those videos will help you to navigate through and show you how to send and receive gifts and keep everything moving smoothly. We really appreciate the people that are putting in the effort to talk to people, get people involved in the platform and in the 14 Eagles community. We really encourage people to go to the team website or the community website at www.14eaglesden.com. That's where you can really get a bird's eye view of the concept and how 14 Eagles works. Some of the information there will put you right in line of the concept of what we're doing here at 14 Eagles. That's one of the main things that we're trying to push is the concept itself. How the platforms work is something that you can learn, and we have the videos for that for you to be able to understand how the platform works. And once you see the videos, if you have any questions, by all means get back with us so we can explain anything that you don't understand about how the platform works, how we send and receive gifts, and things of that nature, because we definitely want you to understand how the platform works. But one of the main things that we do want people to really, really grasp and understand and get a real good overstanding of it, as I may say, is the concept of why we're doing what we're doing. We're not just like any other program out here. We're really here for the people. We're not here to push a product on you. We're not here to get you on some type of auto ship, and like a MLM or anything like that. No, we're here mainly for people to be able to work with one another and to help each other and to build a community of people doing just that. And we know that it's a different type of concept for people. We know people out there, in the back of their minds and in their hearts, they do want to help people. We see that all the time out here with the GoFundMes and GoFundMe accounts. Different organizations that have fundraisers to raise money for whatever type of project that they have throughout the communities, and so we know people, they have it in their heart to try to help others. But most of the time, we always find that when there's some type of tragedy or some type of something that has gone wrong in someone's life, and we're trying to help someone to recover. And so we're here with this concept with 14 Eagles. We're here to try to be a platform and be a community where we're not waiting for something to happen. We're trying to be more proactive in the concept of helping each other. And so by getting involved with this platform and everyone connecting to work with one another, we're helping each other get into a position financially, spiritually, and also consciously to help us move through life without the barriers of a financial burden. You know, 95% of most of our decisions is based on a financial decision. I mean, all the way down to, all the way from, you know, how much my mortgage is, what I have to pay for a mortgage, all the way down to, can I take my family to a movie? All of that is a financial decision. And that shouldn't be a burden to someone to be able to do that. And you know, in our society and in our financial system that we find ourselves in, it can be a burden, and it can be stressful for people to try to keep up with financial obligations. So with our community here in 14 Eagles, our concept is all about um, helping each other. And one of our mottos is to give, share, and accept. You know, we give from the heart because it's just the right thing to do. We share the love because, you know, we have to have love in our hearts to be able to work with one another and to give to one another. You know, especially when you're not asking for anything in return. You know, that's going to take a special type of love to do that. The love of people, the love of trying to do the right thing. And then to accept, you know, to get involved in a concept to where we give and share, and we want people to be able to accept this blessing that's being bestowed upon them from their fellow man. And so we're trying to foster that concept and that motto: give, share, and accept. Give from the heart, share the love, and accept the blessings. That's what 14 Eagles is all about. So that's why we encourage you to go on our website, www.14eaglesden.com, and take a look at the website. Peruse the website as much as possible, and go through the different tabs and read the information. Look at the videos. There's a video of the 14 Eagles presentation of the platform, and also there's videos at the bottom of the site. And if I could scroll down here, and you'll see these 3 videos right here. We really encourage you to watch those 3 videos, especially the Are You a Connector in One Small Town. It really gives you a good bird's eye view, and really drives home the concept of what we're trying to do here at 14 Eagles. And I think that if you able to watch those videos, I think that it will give you a whole new perspective about what we're doing here, and really move you and put you into the right direction. And then also read our welcome, because that gives you a good perspective on our concept as well. We encourage you to be a part of our database, our email database. Even if you don't get involved with 14 Eagles, we still encourage you to get involved with our email database. The reason why is because we give every week what we call the videos of the week. And the videos of the week is to help foster knowledge, okay? Give people information that they can go and research and study. Because one thing that we're most proud of here at 14 Eagles, besides trying to help each other financially, we really are proud of the fact that we try to help educate people about what's really going on in the world, not just in our country, in our neighborhoods, but in the world itself, and give a good educational history of what has gone on in history to bring us to the point to where we are right now. You know, you'll find that when you really study history, you'll find out there's a lot of gaps and a lot of things that have been left out in history that we have not been told. And it's not by mistake. And so we want to fill in those gaps so people can get that information and share that information with one another, talk about that information, study it, and research it, so it can give you a better perspective of why we're in the condition that we're in today. You know, we have more people homeless today, not just in this country, but around the world than ever before. And it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be. And so, you know, instead of looking at it and trying to figure out what to do, we're trying to do something about it. We're not just going to talk about it. We're going to do something about it. And we feel like it's time for us to start putting these solutions in our own hands. It's time for us to start coming together and coming up with solutions and taking care of some of these situations for ourselves, and not sitting around waiting for someone to do it for us. So 14 Eagles is one of those ways that we're using to do that, to take action, to be able to go out here and take care of these things together without anyone trying to dictate to us how we should do it and when we should do it. So here at 14 Eagles, using our platform, we can put ourselves in a position to be able to do whatever we want to do. And that's the key. That's the key to getting some of these things done, and at least moving forward to get it done. All right? And so we hope that that you can see what we're trying to do and how we're trying to do it, and understand the concept of what we're trying to do. So what I want to do right now, because I don't want to get caught up, because I can go into a diatribe and don't stop, because this is really true to my heart. One of the first things that I want to do, and I want to see if he's on here. Okay, he hasn't come yet. But one of the first things I want to do is talk about the business aspect of 14 Eagles community. You know, you can't have a community without being able to have businesses be involved in that community to provide goods and services for the community. So we are truly trying to build a community here, but it's going to be like a virtual community. And through our virtual community, we want to bring businesses in to be able to provide goods and services that people need to have. And so we encourage people that have businesses to come to the 14 Eagles family. And you'll be able to advertise your goods and services on the 14 Eagles site for free. We don't want you to pay anything to add, to advertise your goods and services. We want you to be a part of the community, and we want you to be able to tell us what you have by way of goods and services, and let the people decide if they need what you have or not. That's what a community is all about. It's hard to have a community without stores and different services that people can go and frequent to be able to take part in if they actually need those for themselves. And if we need it, we would rather get it here in our community, in the 14 Eagles community, than going somewhere else, because it will help benefit the community. See, our whole thing here is we're trying to create our own economic platform here. We're trying to create our own economy, if you will. And so in doing that, we need businesses with goods and services in our economy, because that's what makes an economy thrive, the small business. And so, but the good thing about our small business, the small businesses in our community, is that the small businesses that get involved in our community, whether they sell any of their goods and services or not, our community will support them financially. All right, so it's almost like a double whammy here in 14 Eagles for a business. The only thing that the business has to provide is to help build the community. That's all we ask, is to help build the community that you're going to sell your goods and services to. And I mean, that to me is a perfect combination. So what I want to do is I want to bring up a fellow who's been working with the businesses and trying to get the businesses to see what we're doing here at 14 Eagles. His name is Dwayne Ferguson, and he's been very instrumental in contacting businesses and getting businesses involved in the platform, and being able to go out, come to this community, and provide their goods and services to the community. And so, if Dwayne, if you can unmute yourself real quick, or let me see if I can do it for you.
Hey,
okay,
Brian.
You got it. There you go. Yeah, Dwayne, if you will, just real briefly, kind of go over what you see and how you feel about the community and bringing in the businesses into the community, and how those businesses can really benefit by being involved in the community.
Okay, well, thanks, Brian, and good evening, everyone. I had the opportunity this past weekend to attend a big fair here, a festival we have here in Maryland, and I met with a number of business people, the vendors, one-on-one. Try to catch them at a time where they weren't quite busy, no one was there. Spoke with them for a minute or so, and just shared the idea that we actually have, pretty much just offering the idea of coming on board, being part of our community for as little as being asked and offered to as a patronage contribution to coming on board, and then from that point on, advertising their goods and services. A key word I constantly used throughout that day was grassroots, small businesses, the origin, the beginning of one in commerce, starting the whole process of trade. And it was quite a lot of unique things out there, a lot of things that people actually manufacture, some things people were selling them someone else's. But it was quite a bit of personal manufactured things, and the uniqueness of it. And what we're striving to do is to bring a number of businesses who can see the big picture, which really isn't hard to see. It's just a question of stopping for a moment and just processing what it is that we actually have to offer, where one can actually utilize our particular platform, our community, and utilize that platform as a means to making their goods and services known and available for purchase if one wants to do that. Of course, they will be driving a lot of their customer base to come to the site itself. We're going to be doing some real exciting things down the road for businesses to help to draw more people, to give lots of visibility, and that will, of course, increase over time. But like I said, it's a great opportunity. You hit it right on the head that a business can actually be on here advertising their services, their goods, their talents, and as a result of that, of being there and contributing to the continued growth of the community, they're going to start receiving contributions, just literally by default, of being in the system, being in the right place, getting these contributions, and then they can take those contributions and put that towards whatever their projects or their cause may be, whether it's something they want to sink into their company so they can expand and provide a better service, and or set up a project, which is something that I'm constantly bringing to people's attention, because we're also going to start uploading your spread for your cause or your project. If you need to raise money for something that's taking place in your particular community, that's going to help to enhance the business itself. There was one thing that we actually had talked about, and I had this discussion with someone not too long ago, But imagine your business owner, and you connect with a number of your own peers who are also entrepreneurs, business owners in their own respect. And let's just say they're all part of your township. And let's just say it's 50 of you. And you all decide to say, hey, let's come together and brainstorm. Everybody come back next week with a project that you're going to do that's going to help to build the community, whether it's something that's children's related, family oriented, teen pregnancy prevention, gang reduction, launching a whatever the ideas are, and you have all 50 of them coming back because they now have resources that are coming in through the growth of the community of contributions that they don't have to go in their own pocket to take out. It's something that's coming in through the contributions just by virtue of being here advertising. What can that township look like when you have that many people coming together with projects all together? So this is the very, very powerful mechanism that we have here. As far as we know, it hasn't been done before, and if so, it's been kept a pretty big secret because we got our ears to the ground. But if it is, we welcome it because we need more of them. But right now, while we're waiting for them to get started, we're going ahead and we're setting and laying out the platform, but the blueprint. The blueprint on how this is to be done, because it's going to evolve and it's going to get better. So again, we welcome you, especially if you are a business or have a business or know somebody who's in business, and everybody knows people who are in business, working from their shop, working from their garage, working from their basement. It's very, very rich territory for them, and we do need to expand the arms to get to everybody and let them know that this exists. So I do welcome you on board.
All right. And I mean, that's very powerful because, with technology today, we can reach a much broader scope of people, where we can be in a small little town in this country and reach someone all the way across the world in a whole nother country and be able to deal with that person and do commerce with that person.
Exactly.
That's where we are today. So the world is actually changing right before our eyes. This is I mean, you figure, 50 years ago, nobody could even imagine what we're doing right now. So the world is changing and we got to keep up with it. And so, but as the world changes, it seems as though somehow things are getting worse as far as people's financial security and way of life seems to be going down for some reason. And that makes no sense to me. It makes no sense. And so, in knowing that and seeing that, that's why we figure it's time for us to put things in our hands. We're not leaving it to the politicians anymore. We're not leaving it to the government anymore, because they've had it in their hands for over 200 years, and it's just gone downhill. And so now it's time to flip the script, and it's time for the people to gain back control over our own lives, and not giving over control to some sort of government. And not just in this country, all around the world. Because as you see, I'm always talking about the world, not just here. The world. Because right now, with the technology that we have right now, the world virtually is right down the street. It's no longer, some faraway distance anymore. Because of the technology that we have right now, we can connect with anybody around the world, where we couldn't do that 50 years ago. So now, by us building this community and getting the businesses involved, now we can help each other to prosper, business-wise and community-wise. And then we can transfer that from a virtual world into the real world and really help people that really need it. Okay? Because there's people out here hurting right now that shouldn't be. It shouldn't be that way. And that's to transition me into the other aspect of what we're doing here in the 14 Eagles community, because we're getting ready to start a campaign. We have partnered with a company that's run by a very dear friend of mine, and the company is Fund Me 24/7. And Fund Me 24/7, I call it a disruptor because it has gone into the crowdfunding industry and it's disrupting the crowdfunding industry. And when I'm saying that disrupting it, it's changing it from what it is and advancing it to something bigger than what it really is. Because now, with Fund Me 24/7, it's taking crowdfunding that was normally for businesses to raise funds for their businesses and for some type of product or new gadget or whatever it may be, to try to raise funds to get that out into the marketplace. And then, some people can recognize the GoFundMes. The GoFundMes of the world, where they try to help people that have been in some type of disaster, or try to help someone that has lost their house or whatever the case may be, to raise funds for an individual. Well, Fund Me 24/7 has taken it to a whole nother level, and now where you can be able that anybody will be able to raise funds for whatever project that they may have. Whatever that project may be, it could be, you might want to start a college fund for your children, or maybe you went to college and you racked up college debt, student loans, all right, that you're trying to pay down, or you may need to get a roof replaced on your house, or maybe you're trying to put an addition on your house to raise the value of your house. Whatever the case may be, those can be projects that you can raise funds for. That literally changes the game. And so without me getting too far deep into it, what I want to do is I want to bring up Mark Stevens. He's the one who is facilitating the Fund Me 24/7. And if you will, Mark, unmute yourself, if you will. Because okay, great. This guy, I always talk about his integrity, because see, when you're doing a business, the business is really reflected by the person that's running that business. And so if the person that's running that business has the utmost of integrity, then that business will go a long, long way. And that's why I know Fund Me 24/7 is going to capture the world. And it's going to go a long, long way to go and help a lot of people around the world, because it's really going to be a disruptor in the industry. Mark, if you will, just talk a little bit about Fund Me 24/7, what you've done with it, and how it's going to play into the campaign that we're going to be doing with 14 Eagles and Fund Me 24/7.
Okay, thank you, Brian. Peace and blessings, everyone. It's a pleasure always to be able to address the community of 14 Eagles. As Brian said, we go back a long way because we have the same thoughts and we have the same visions of wiping poverty out of the world. And, one by one or by groups, whoever it takes, we leave no stone unturned. And that's the purpose of me being on the planet, I feel, and that's the purpose of us getting connected with 14 Eagles, because we've known 14 Eagles as to provide information that a lot of people don't get, as Brian said earlier, in the call. And, I have a saying that there's a difference in being broke and, and being poor. Being broke is economic opportunity, which can be changed, and that's what the community is for as well. Information and also, helping people with their challenges. And but being poor is a disabling frame of mind and a distressed condition of the spirit. So we must vow never ever to be poor again. And you know, that's just, you know, half the people in the country right now go to bed at night wondering how they're going to pay that next bill tomorrow morning or whatever. And as Brian said, that shouldn't be. So we're trying to do something about that. So our platform allows our members, which we have over 20,000 members, about 23,000 members from different, you know, from all around the world, and growing every day. And what we're trying to do is to provide a platform for people to raise the funds that they need to raise, as Brian said, for any project, legal, moral, and ethical. That's all it requires. And they have to be 18. And when you put the two together with 14 Eagles, the information that it provides and the community that it provides for businesses, which is phenomenal, this is something that's being done, and it'll be done all over the world that nobody on the planet is doing. We know that for a fact. So it's a pleasure to, you know, as I said, to connect up with 14 Eagles, because it's about changing lives. And when you can change your life, you can't put a price on that. So, again, we're excited about that, and we're excited to be connected with 14 Eagles. So thank you very much, Brian.
Thank you so much, man. And I really appreciate you. I really appreciate the people that you're working with, the people that's working with you, because Fund Me 24/7 is really, really needed, you know. And and that was the first step in getting people together to be able to put them in a position to help themselves and to help others. And with the concept that we have here of giving, sharing, and accepting, there's no other way to do it, to me. You know, now, quite naturally, some people will try to vilify it. You know, they'll try to vilify what we're doing here because it's going to put control back into the people's hands. And a lot of people, believe it or not, there's some people that don't want control back into people's hands. All right? They want the people to be led rather than people leading themselves. And we're trying to change that script. And so this concept helps to do that. And there's going to be people out there that you talk to or that you see. They're going to say, well, oh, you're involved in that pyramid thing. All right? And seeing most people that say that, they don't know what a pyramid is, or they don't know what a Ponzi scheme is. And so when they really break down what a pyramid scheme or a Ponzi scheme is, then they can literally take that definition and apply it to their own government and some of the government programs that they have can literally be defined as a pyramid scheme or a Ponzi scheme. All right, so knowledge is the key. We have to understand what we're faced with, okay, and why we're being held back from helping one another. What's the purpose of it? And so that's what we're here to try to divulge and make people see, help people to see. Concept here is everything. And that's what we're hoping that people can see, the concept of what we're doing here. Because, see, what we want people to do is to be able to dream again. Get the passion. What is your passion? What do you really want to do in life? I know your passion is not to go to a job from 9 to 5 or whatever times you go to a job and do something that you don't want to really do. You're only doing it because you have to make a living so you can sustain yourself for you and your family. But what is your passion? What do you really, really want to do? Because, see, putting yourself in a position to be economically free will give you the ability to go out and do your passion. Okay? And that's the key. That's the key to turning everything around, is being able to go out and do your passion. What are your dreams? And so that's what we're trying to provide here. The difficult part is nobody's going to give it to you. We have to come together and do it for ourselves. Government is not going to do it for you. The banking system is not going to do it for you. Only we can do it for ourselves. And until we come together, get rid of all of those isms that keep us apart. Okay? The racism, the individualisms, all of those different things that keep people apart. We have to banish all of those things. And we have to come together and we have to learn from each other. And we have to give, share, and accept from one another. That's our motto here. And if we can understand that, if we can really put that in our minds and in our hearts, this thing is going to flourish whether we want it to or not. Because it's just a universal way. This is a universal platform here. And I defy anybody to try to say otherwise. Especially if you truly and really understand what's going on here. And I believe if you indulge yourself, it'll really sink into you. It really will. And so with our campaign that we're getting ready to launch, we have a database of over 30,000 people that we're getting ready to launch a campaign to bring people into the 14 Eagles family, into the Fund Me 24/7 platform. And so in doing that campaign, we're going to instruct people to get involved with the Feed Me 24/7. Feed Me 24/7. And if you just do that part, the Feed Me 24/7, the 14 Eagles family will pay it forward in the gifts in your behalf here in 14 Eagles. So therefore, we leave no stone unturned. That's what my partner Greg says. We leave no stone unturned. So we're going to make sure that you have the ability to get involved with our community and take part. And so in the Feed Me platform, we're only talking about a $10 one-time out-of-pocket in that platform, which that platform helps you to introduce the Fund Me 24/7 platform to everybody that you come in contact with. Why? Because everybody has a project that they need to fund. And they might as well take advantage of it. You know, Barack Obama signed into law the Jobs Act, which gave crowdfunding the legitimacy that it really needed. Because crowdfunding really has been around for centuries. It's nothing new. You know, gifting has been around for centuries. It is nothing new. But it hasn't been focused on. Why? Because it gives people the ability to take care of themselves. So quite naturally, the people that want to control everything, the quote unquote people that want to control everything, they don't want you to do that. And that's obvious. So understand, having a platform that's going to help bring people together, like Feed Me 24/7, because a lot of people, they don't really like to go out here and talk to people about bringing them into something. That's where the concept about pyramid scheme comes from, because people just automatically assume if you got to bring somebody into something, then it's a pyramid scheme, and they brainwash people to think that way. Well, we're trying to break that myth. We're not trying. We're gonna break that myth. Okay. So with Feed Me 24/7, $10 one time out of pocket, and then somebody's gonna pay it forward for you in the gift giving in 14 Eagles. Now you have no excuse. No excuse. So for $16, you can get involved with these two platforms, which will help you to elevate to the Fund Me 24/7 Fund Me 24/7 platform, along with the Infinity plan in the 24/7 platform, which we're going to be going into and having classes on that, so you can really understand what that's all about. This will change your life forever. That's why we want you to really understand the concept of what we're doing here. It's going to really change your life. And when you grab hold of this thing and you really, really understand it, and what I like to say, overstand it, it's going to change your life. And when people see your life change, guess what? They want to get involved then, because now they want their lives changed as well. And then that's going to translate out into the real world. And now you're going to see the change in the real world. You're going to see it in their consciousness and in their financial abilities. You're going to see it right before your eyes. And it's a powerful thing. It's a powerful thing to be able to help someone keep their lights on. It's a powerful thing to see someone be able to do something for their family that they otherwise could not do. See, giving is more powerful to the giver than it is to the person that's receiving the gift. Think about how you felt when you did something for someone or gave somebody something that they didn't have, and you seen their face light up because of what you did for them. How did that make you feel? And what if you could feel like that all the time? It would change your whole demeanor about life itself. Giving, sharing, and accepting. So to close out, what I want to do is I want to go to my fellow friend. It's a brother. Me and him has been together for the last 10 years, bringing 14 Eagles to fruition, keeping it going through the ups and downs, trying to get people to understand what it's all about, trying to educate people. Greg, can you unmute yourself? See if he can unmute himself. All right, let me see if I can do it. Hold on. You there? Oh, I lost him. Okay, I really wanted you to hear from him. I call him Mr. 14 Eagles. Greg is one of the facilitators here at 14 Eagles, and we have been doing this for a while now, and he really has this in his heart. He's the one who keeps me going, okay, in 14 Eagles. And so, and he would tell you, this is a way of life. This is something that is so needed in the world today. And that's one of the reasons why we kept this thing afloat. And lo and behold, we partnered with Fund Me 24/7. And now we're going into new heights.
Brian, can you hear me?
There he is. There's my man. Yes, Greg. Hey, man, what I want you to do.
I can keep talking.
Okay. If you can, I want you to close us out as you always do, my brother, and just let everybody know, you know, how your passion is about 14 Eagles and the campaign that we're getting ready to do with Fund Me 24/7, and what you feel about it.
Brian, it'll be my pleasure. last week, after listening to the call and listening to the recording of the call, I had a thought. Like one of the things we always tell everybody when we show out our video of the week is that do your own research. And after the calls, a lot of times I like to listen to the calls over again, and it just gives me things to think about. And one of the things I want to think about is that it sounds too good to be true with what we're talking about. And the reason why a lot of people will not want to come to us and not want to join us is because this is going to give them back their freedom. And we've been, like you said, so brainwashed away from our passions, our goals, our dreams, that we feel like this can't happen. It can't be real. So that's what you're going to run into, family. You're going to run into people who will be like, this can't be real. We can't have people that's coming from the heart, wanting to share, wanting to give, wanting to, be a part of something bigger than themselves. And that's what the 14 Eagles platform is all about. That's why when we combine this campaign with Feed Me 24/7 and Fund Me 24/7, this thing is going to be impossible to stop. And that's what we want people to understand. We have the opportunity to do some very powerful things. And I'd like to say, I'm going to close out with this saying here. You can't build your dreams living in someone else's nightmare, and that's what we're doing. When you're in a society that's built on debt, it takes away your freedom, it takes away your liberty, it takes away your power to be God-like, and that's what we're trying to do. Get back our power to be God-like again and be part of a co-creator to create the world that we want for our loved ones, for our children, and for our future generations. The 14 Eagles platform is all about. That's why I'm extremely excited what we have here. And in closing, I'd like to say this. You want to give from your heart, share your love, and accept your blessings, because that's what the 14 Eagles platform is all about, along with our campaign with Feed Me 24/7 and Fund Me 24/7. Brian, you got it.
All right, I appreciate you, brother, and I thank everyone that's come to the call. And we're here every Thursday night at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Bring your friends and family so they can understand the concept of 14 Eagles. Go to the 14 Eagles website, www.14eaglesden.com. Check out the website. Check out the videos. Go through the tabs in the menu. Get a feel for what 14 Eagles is all about. There's nobody here selling you anything, okay? All we're trying to do is bring you in a part of the community that we're trying to build, okay? That's what it's all about. With that in mind, we'll thank you for coming, and hope to see you next Thursday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Take care, everybody. Peace.